Welcome back. We're officially in the thick of it now.
We really are.
If you've been tracking with us, this is episode 9 of 15, and we are firmly planted in phase 2 of this systemic idols arc.
Right. And honestly, if you were with us for the last session, episode 8, we took a pretty heavy sledgehammer to the worship industrial complex.
Yeah, we did.
We spent a lot of time unpacking that whole dynamic of the consumer versus the priest. How we've collectively turned worship into a performance we rate, not a sacrifice we offer.
Right, that worship that doesn't cost you anything isn't worship. It's just entertainment with, better lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But today feels different. We're moving from the stage to the closet. We're shifting from the mechanics of how we sing in public to the mechanics of how we talk to God in private.
And this is the one that might hurt a little, because while the worship industrial complex is something we can point at out there.
In the institutions, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bands, the lights.
Exactly. Today's idol is sitting right on your nightstand. Today, we're looking at the idol of the prayer vending machine.
The vending machine. It's such a vivid image. And unfortunately, I think I know exactly where this is going.
I think we all do.
It's the default setting for so many of us, right? Especially in the West. You walk up to the machine, you insert your faith coin or your prayer token.
Yep.
You press the button for the specific request. You want D4 for promotion or E7 for healing, and you just expect the blessing to drop into the tray.
Precisely. And here is the kicker. What happens when the product doesn't drop? What happens when the coil turns, but the bag of chips gets stuck against the glass?
You assume the machine is broken.
Or you assume you didn't use enough coins. You assume the currency was wrong. Or you didn't press the button hard enough. You shake the machine.
You kick it.
You kick it. You get angry at the management. It turns the creator of the universe into a cosmic dispensary. And when a dispensary fails to dispense, it's useless.
It becomes an obstacle. Okay, before we start shaking this machine any harder, we have to drop our mandatory disclaimer. We do this every time, but considering how personal prayer is and how much baggage we all carry, it feels especially important today.
It really is. We need to be crystal clear for everyone listening. We are practitioners, not theologians. We are teaching from the valley. We're 2 months into an incredibly intensive Bible study, digging through stacks of sources, and we are sitting in the rubble of our own deconstruction.
We aren't shouting down from a seminary summit with all the answers. We're down here in the mud, wrestling with this stuff just like you are. So if this feels surgical, it's because we're currently under the knife ourselves. We are looking at our own prayer lives and realizing just how much has been built on a transactional foundation.
That's right. And the mission for this discussion is specific. We want to expose this transactional mindset, this pervasive idea that prayer is a negotiation, and rediscover what the sources describe as communion.
So let's unpack this, because I can hear the defense already. I mean, I can hear myself saying it. But Jesus said, ask and you shall receive, right? I mean, are requests wrong? I've seen prayers answered. I've prayed for things and got them. Is it wrong to bring a list of needs to God?
It's absolutely not wrong to ask. The problem isn't the request. The problem is the mindset behind the request. It's what you could call the theology of babble.
Babble.
Let's look at the source text. Matthew 6.7 through 8. Jesus is giving specific instructions on how to pray. And he says, do not use vain repetitions as the heathen do. Now, the Greek word used there is fascinating. It's baptologos.
Baptologos. Okay, break that down for us.
It literally translates to babble, or to heap up empty phrases. It implies a stammering, repetitive noise, like a child tugging on a pant leg, just saying, mom, 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 mom. And the text explains why they do it, for they think that they will be heard for their many words.
Okay, so this is the filibuster approach to prayer. If I just keep talking, eventually God will sign the bill just to get me to shut up.
That is a perfect analogy. It's the vending machine mindset that assumes the quantity of the words or the intensity of that faith coin is what forces God's hand. It's this idea that if I say it enough times, if I say it loudly enough, if I use the right Christianese jargon to find the cheat code, the mechanism will trigger.
I have definitely done that. God, I really, really, really need this. Like I'm trying to hype him up.
Right.
Or if I get enough people to pray, it unlocks some kind of multiplier bonus.
Yeah.
If we get 50 people praying, that's a level 1 miracle, but 100 people's a level 2.
We treat it like a petition on change.org.
Yeah.
If we get enough signatures, the governor has to look at it. But look at what Jesus says immediately after in verse 8. This is the antidote to battleology.
Okay.
He says, therefore do not be like them, for your Father knows the things you have need of before you ask him.
Wait. That actually complicates things for me. If he knows what I need before I ask, why am I asking?
That is the crucial question.
Is it just a formality? A test?
If he already knows, why are you explaining it to him? See, the vending machine mindset assumes we are informing God. God, just in case you missed the memo, my rent is due. Or worse, it assumes we're persuading him. We treat prayer like a sales pitch to a reluctant investor.
Oof, yeah. God, here are the Q3 projections for my life, and if you just release these funds, I promise I'll be a good return on investment. I'll be a better person. I'll go to church more.
Exactly. But if he knows what you need before you ask, then prayer isn't for his information. It's for your alignment.
Okay.
When we spend all our time explaining our needs to an all-knowing God, it just reveals that we don't actually trust him to be God. We want to be the consultant.
So we're trying to manage the manager. We're coming in with a clipboard telling the CEO how to run the company.
We're trying to negotiate. And that leads us directly to what the sources call the lobbying problem.
The lobbying problem. This comes from James, right?
James chapter 4. This is where we address the question that haunts every believer at some point. Why does the machine jam? Why do some prayers go unanswered?
Which is the big one. That's where people lose their faith. I put the coin in, I press the button, nothing happened. God must not be real, or he hates me.
And James 4.3 gives a brutal diagnosis. You ask and do not receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasures.
Asking amiss. That sounds technical. What does that actually mean in practice?
It means the trajectory of the request is wrong. The Greek implies asking evilly or badly, like an archer missing the mark entirely.
Okay.
And the text says the purpose of the request is to spend it on your pleasures. And this forces us to reframe unanswered prayer completely.
How so?
It suggests that often unanswered prayer is an act of God's mercy.
Mercy. That's a stretch. When I'm desperate for something, a job, a relationship, a healing, and I don't get it, it feels like being ignored. It feels like cold indifference.
Think about it this way. If you have a toddler, and that toddler asks for a chainsaw because they want to help you cut down a tree, do you give it to them?
Absolutely not.
Even if they beg. Even if they promise to be careful. Even if they cry and say you don't love them because you won't give them the shiny red toy.
No, of course not. Because I know the chainsaw will hurt them. I'm the parent. I have a perspective they just don't have.
Exactly. If you are asking for something that is designed to fuel your ego or increase your independence from God or spend on your pleasures, and God answered that prayer, he would be financing your destruction.
Wow. Okay. So if I'm praying for a promotion because I secretly just want the status and God gives it to me, he's basically handing me a loaded gun.
He would be an accessory to your spiritual suicide. If God loves you, he will jam the vending machine when the product is poison. He isn't ignoring you. He is protecting you from yourself.
That changes the perspective on a lot of no's I've gotten in my life. It's not absence. It's a guardrail.
And it brings us to this metaphor of lobbying. Ask yourself this. Are you praying or are you lobbying?
Break that down for me. What's the difference?
A lobbyist goes to Washington to negotiate a specific outcome based on their own agenda. They want a bill passed. They want funding secured. They don't care about the relationship with the senator.
They care about the signature.
They care about the signature. Their motto is, my will with your resources.
My will with your resources. That is painfully accurate. I think I've spent most of my prayer life lobbying, God, here's my plan. Please fund it.
Most of us have. But intimacy is the opposite. Intimacy seeks the face, not the hand. Intimacy says, I want to be with you, not I want to get something from you.
I have to admit, and this is me speaking from the valley here, I kind of treat God like the 911 hotline.
The emergency contact?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I prayed without a list of demands or a crisis to solve. It's always, God, fix this. God, save me from this. God, I need this. It's totally transactional.
And when things are going well.
The line is dead. I ghost him.
That is the 911 hotline dynamic. And let's be real about human relationships for a second. Relationships die when one person only shows up to ask for money.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a friend who only calls you when their car breaks down or they need a loan, do you have a friendship?
No. I have a client. Or a dependent. I definitely don't have a friend. I might even stop picking up the phone eventually.
Exactly. You have a transaction. And God is not interested in being your vendor. He wants to be your father. The vending machine reduces the Almighty to a utility. And when the utility stops working, you cancel the subscription.
Which explains why so many people walk away when a specific prayer isn't answered. They weren't in a relationship. They were in a business deal that went south. I held up my end of the bargain. I went to church. I tithed. And you didn't cure my mom.
Precisely. They are leaving a transaction that didn't pay out. They put the coins in, the blessing didn't drop, so they walked away from the machine. And honestly, good. Leave the machine. But don't mistake the machine for the Father.
So how do we fix this? If we've been treating prayer like a transaction, if we've been lobbying instead of loving, how do we get back to communion? What's the corrective?
We have to look at the Master. We have to look at how Jesus prayed. And it starts with the structure of the Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6.
Okay.
We all know the words, but we usually miss the architecture.
Our Father in heaven.
Notice the order. Hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. All of that happens before we get to give us this day our daily bread.
So God's agenda comes first.
Personal needs are only valid when they're nested inside God's agenda. You align with the kingdom first, and then you ask for the resources to live in that kingdom.
Right.
The vending machine flips it. We put, give us this day at the top in bold letters, and your will be done is usually a footnote we mumble at the end if we remember it.
It's the terms and conditions we scroll past to get to the download button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your will be done, whatever. Just give me the bread.
Right. But the ultimate corrective, the moment that destroys the vending machine forever, is Gethsemane. Matthew 26.39. This is the graduate level course on prayer.
Jesus in the garden, right before the arrest. The moment of highest tension.
Look at the model. Jesus is in agony. He makes a petition. Oh, my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. That's a real honest request. He is asking for the hard thing to be taken away. He isn't stoic. He isn't pretending.
He's being vulnerable. He's not pretending he wants to suffer. That's important, right? Because sometimes we feel like we can't even admit what we want.
No, you have to admit it. You have to bring the desire. But then comes the shift, the pivot point of history. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.
The surrender.
The synthesis. Mature prayer is the ability to hold deep desire and total surrender simultaneously. It is not name it and claim it. It is state it and surrender it.
State it and surrender it. I like that. But practically, that is incredibly hard to do. It feels like giving up.
It's not giving up, it's trusting up. You bring the desire fully. You don't hide it, but you hand the outcome over fully. You say, Father, this is what I want, but I trust your no more than I trust my yes.
That is terrifying, though, because you have to actually trust that his no is better. You have to believe that if the cup doesn't pass, there's a reason.
And that's why it's relational, not transactional. You can't surrender to a vending machine. You can only surrender to a Father you trust. If you don't trust his character, you will always try to control his hand.
The sources also brought up another concept that fights this transactional mindset. It's called conversational prayer. It references 1 Thessalonians 5.17, pray without ceasing.
Right. The Greek word here is ἀδιαλείπτως.
Ἀδιαλείπτως.
It means unceasing, incessant, or without omission.
Which, to be honest, sounds exhausting. I mean, I have a job, I have kids, I can't be in a closet chanting prayers 24 hours a day. Is that what it demands?
Not at all. That's the religious interpretation. Think of ἀδιαλείπτως less like a continuous speech and more like an open connection.
Okay.
Think of it like a walkie-talkie that you never turn off. You don't have to be talking constantly, but the channel is always open.
So it's presence.
It's a living presence. It's not a scheduled meeting. It's a constant awareness. It's not, okay, it's 7 a.m., time to slot in for my prayer shift. It's walking through your day, aware of his presence, shooting up thoughts, listening, groaning.
Groaning. That's an interesting word choice.
It's scriptural. Romans 8.26 is huge here. It says the Spirit himself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.
I love that verse. For we do not know what we should pray for as we ought.
That is the death blow to the vending machine. We don't even know what buttons to push. We are so limited in our perspective.
Right.
We think we need money, but the Spirit knows we actually need patience. We think we need a new job, but the Spirit knows we actually need humility.
So the Spirit is like the ultimate translator. Okay, Father, he's asking for a Ferrari because he wants to feel important, but I'm going to translate this. He actually needs to learn how to find his worth in you, so let's work on that.
Exactly. It's a partnership. The Spirit aligns us with God rather than us performing to impress God. We aren't trying to twist God's arm. We are trying to get our heart to beat in rhythm with his.
This brings us back to that relationship metaphor.
Yeah.
It really does seem to be the core of the issue.
It is the only issue. If you strip away the religion, the liturgy, the Christianese, what do you have left? Do you have a relationship? Or do you have a business arrangement?
That line you said earlier really hits home. Relationships die when one person only shows up to ask for money.
If the only time you talk to God is when you need something, you don't have a God. You have a utility. You have a service provider. And frankly, that is a miserable way to live.
It's lonely. And it's fragile. Because the moment the utility fails, you have nothing left.
That explains so much of the deconstruction we see. People aren't necessarily leaving a relationship with God.
They're leaving a broken vending machine.
Yes. They're leaving a transaction that didn't pay out. They put the coins in, the blessing didn't drop, so they walked away. And you know what? Good. Leave the machine. But don't mistake the machine for the Father.
So here's the challenge. We want to leave you with a specific provocation today. We want to interrupt the programming.
We want to challenge you directly. When is the last time you prayed without asking for anything?
No list, no fix this, no give me that, no bless Aunt Susie.
Just, Father, I'm here. I just want to be with you. Your will be done.
If you can't remember the last time you did that, if you have to scroll back years in your mind,
then you've been using God. And you need to repent of the idol of the vending machine. You need to stop lobbying and start seeking his face.
Your will be done, not my will with your resources.
That's the shift. That is the move from the valley to the mountaintop.
This has been heavy, but necessary. We're stripping down the idols. And next time.
Oh, man, next time.
Episode 10. We are going to the most dangerous topic yet.
The salvation transaction.
We are going to look at Matthew 7:21-23. I never knew you. We're going to discuss the terrifying possibility that if nothing changed after you got saved, the transaction may not have occurred at all.
That is going to be a rough one. But we have to go there.
We have to.
Until then, check your prayer life. Are you lobbying or loving?
We'll see you in the rubble.